The knock came like a gunshot. Thomas Hale lifted his rifle before he lifted his head. Outside his cabin, the blizzard screamed against the walls. Snow hit the window like handfuls of white stones. The fire was low. The room smelled of smoke, old leather, and wet wool drying near the stove. The knock came again. "Open up, Mr. Hale," a young voice shouted. "Please." Thomas stood slowly. His knees cracked. His beard was gray, his hands were hard, and his eyes looked like they had forgotten soft things. He crossed the room, pulled the door open, and the storm rushed in. A boy fell against the doorframe. Thomas knew him. Eli Boone, 16, thin as a fence rail. His coat was frozen stiff, and his lips were turning blue. One side of his face was cut by ice. Thomas grabbed him by the collar and dragged him inside. "Are you trying to die on my porch?" Thomas snapped. Eli coughed so hard his whole body shook. "It's Samuel." Thomas went still. The fire popped behind him. The name sat in the cabin like a snake. Thomas's voice dropped. "Say that name outside." "I can't." Eli's teeth hit together. "Samuel Hale is trapped on the North Trail. His horse came back alone. Saddle torn. Blood on the stirrup." Thomas stared at Eli. For 15 years, Thomas had not spoken to Samuel unless the law forced him to. Same town, same church bell, same blood. But they passed each other like strangers in a graveyard. Eli reached into his coat and pulled out a strip of cloth. It was Samuel's neck scarf. Brown wool, frozen at the edges, dark with blood. Thomas did not touch it. "No," Thomas said. Eli blinked. "No? You heard me. Mr. Hale, his leg is broke. Maybe worse. If nobody goes now, he won't last till morning." Thomas turned away. "Then morning will find him." Eli's eyes filled with shock. "He is your brother." Thomas faced him so fast Eli stepped back. "My brother buried our father in the snow." The room went quiet except for the wind pressing its fist against the walls. Eli swallowed. "Folks said it was an accident. Folks say many things when they don't know the cost." Thomas walked to the shelf above the fire. On it sat an old brass compass, dull, scratched. The glass had a crack through the middle. It had belonged to Thomas's father. Thomas had not opened it in years, but he kept it where he could see it. Not for love, for anger. Eli looked at the compass. Samuel was carrying one like that tonight. Thomas's jaw tightened. "He has no right." He said it helped him remember the way home. Thomas gave a bitter laugh. "Samuel never knew the way home." Eli shook his head. "You don't understand." "I understand enough." "No, sir." Eli's voice broke. "Samuel wasn't riding north for himself." Thomas turned. Eli pulled off one glove. His fingers were red and shaking. "My little brother Ben ran from town after our mule got loose. Samuel saw the tracks. He went after him." Thomas's face changed, but only a little. Eli kept talking fast, like fear was pushing the words out. "Samuel found Ben near Miller's Cut. He put Ben on his horse and sent the horse home, but Samuel stayed behind. The horse came back with my brother tied to the saddle." Thomas looked toward the door. The wind cried through a crack in the wall. Somewhere outside, the barn wood groaned. Eli whispered, "Samuel saved Ben." Thomas's fingers curled into fists. That was the trouble with hate. It was clean when the story stayed simple. Samuel was careless. Samuel killed their father. Samuel was weak. Samuel deserved to carry guilt. But now the story had moved. Thomas hated when stories moved. He walked to the table and poured black coffee into a tin cup. The coffee smelled burnt and bitter. He pushed it toward Eli. "Drink." Eli took it with both hands. "You'll go?" Thomas did not answer. Eli's voice dropped. "My ma says if Samuel dies out there after saving Ben, she will never forgive herself. I told her I'd find help." "You found a locked door," Thomas said. "I found his brother." Thomas looked at the boy. Eli was not brave. Thomas could see that. His hands shook too much. His eyes kept jumping toward the door, but the boy had come anyway. That made Thomas angry in a different way, because a scared boy had done what grown men in town would not do. Thomas stepped toward the window. Nothing was outside but white. The North Trail was steep. In clear weather, it was hard. In a blizzard, it was a mouth that swallowed men. He heard his father's voice then. Not loud, not soft, just close. "Family is not something you bury while they are still breathing." Thomas shut his eyes. The words came from 15 years ago, from a night full of snow and blood and a dying man's cold hand gripping his sleeve. Thomas opened his eyes and slammed the cup down. "No," he muttered. "No, old man." Eli stared. "What?" Thomas pulled his coat from the peg, then his rope, then his lantern, then his rifle. Eli stood up too fast. "I'm coming. You're staying. But Ben is my brother, and Samuel is mine," Thomas said. The words surprised even him. He took the brass compass from the shelf. For 1 second, he held it like it was hot enough to burn. Then he opened it. The needle spun wild. Thomas stared at it. It should have pointed north. It did not. It pointed toward the door. Eli's face went pale. "That compass is broken." Thomas snapped it shut. "So am I." He stepped outside into the storm. The cold hit his lungs like broken glass. His old horse, Mercy, tossed her head in the shed, eyes wide, breath steaming. Thomas tied on the rope and lantern with stiff fingers. Snow packed into his beard. Ice bit through his gloves. He had only a few hours. If Samuel was bleeding, he could freeze before midnight. If Thomas lost the trail, both brothers would die. If Eli's story was wrong, Thomas would be walking into the same storm that took his father. Thomas mounted Mercy and leaned into the white dark. For a long time, there was nothing but wind, snow, and the creak of leather under him. Then Mercy stopped. Thomas lifted the lantern. There, half buried in the snow, was Samuel's second glove. Beside it was blood, and next to the blood was a fresh set of boot prints, not Samuel's. Someone else was out there. Thomas raised his rifle as the blizzard swallowed the trail ahead. Thomas Hale held the rifle tight. The boot prints were fresh, too fresh. Snow was already filling them, but Thomas could still see the deep heel marks cutting across the trail. Whoever made them was not walking away from Samuel. He was walking toward him. Thomas leaned down from Mercy's saddle and touched the blood in the snow. It was thick and cold on his glove. "Samuel," Thomas muttered, "what trouble did you find now?" Mercy snorted. Her warm breath turned white in the air. The lantern swung from the saddle, throwing weak yellow light over the snow. The wind made the flame shake like a scared child. Then Thomas heard it. A cry, not loud, not strong, just one broken sound under the storm. "Thomas!" Thomas froze. That voice had aged, but it was still Samuel. Thomas kicked Mercy forward. The horse slipped on ice, caught herself, then pushed through the snow. The leather saddle creaked. The rope bumped against Thomas's leg. His hands were so cold they hurt deep in the bones. Another cry came from the dark. "This way!" Thomas followed the sound until the trail dropped near a rock wall. There, under a bent pine tree, Samuel lay half covered in snow. But Samuel was not alone. Eli Boone was kneeling beside him. Thomas's anger rose so fast it nearly stole his breath. "I told you to stay in the cabin." Eli looked up, face white with fear and frost. "I couldn't." "You fool boy." "I know," Eli shouted back. "But my brother is alive because Samuel came for him. I couldn't let Samuel die alone." Thomas climbed down and grabbed Eli by the coat. "You could have killed yourself." Eli's eyes filled with tears. "Then maybe I would understand how you feel." Those words hit Thomas harder than the wind. Samuel groaned. "Don't blame the boy, Thomas." Thomas turned to Samuel. Samuel's left leg was twisted under him. His coat was stiff with ice. His face was gray. Blood had frozen on his boot, dark as old paint. Thomas swallowed. He had imagined this moment many times. Samuel weak. Samuel sorry. Samuel needing him. In those thoughts, Thomas always felt strong. But now he only felt sick. Samuel gave a small, painful smile. "You came." Thomas knelt beside him. "Don't make it sound pretty." "I won't." "You went after Eli's brother?" Samuel nodded. Ben was crying near the cut. Horse was scared. I tied Ben to the saddle and slapped the horse home. "And you fell?" "The ridge broke under me." Samuel looked away. "Same kind of snow as that night with Pa." Thomas's hand stopped on the rope. Eli looked between them. "What night?" Thomas snapped. "Not now." Samuel closed his eyes. "No. It has been not now for 15 years. The storm roared above them. Snow slid from the pine branches and slapped the ground beside Samuel. Thomas could smell pine sap, wet leather, and blood. Samuel opened his eyes again. "I made the first mistake that night. I pushed the cattle too fast. I know that. I have lived with it every day." Thomas's mouth was dry. "Then say it. Say you killed him." Samuel's face twisted. "I did not kill him alone." Thomas stared. Samuel reached into his coat with shaking fingers and pulled out a brass compass. It was like Thomas's, but cleaner. Their father had owned two, one for each son. Samuel pressed it into Thomas's hand. "Pa went back because of you too," Samuel whispered. Thomas shook his head. "No. Yes. You dropped your compass in the whiteout. You were 12 yards off the trail, screaming you could find it. Pa went after you. I was holding the reins. The team broke loose. I froze. I was 15, Thomas. I froze." Thomas could hear it now. Not all of it, just pieces. His own young voice yelling in the storm. His father's hand pushing him toward the wagon. Samuel crying beside the cattle. Then blood in the snow. Thomas's chest tightened. Samuel's voice shook. "Pa's last words were not only for you. He said them to both of us." Thomas whispered. "Family is not something you bury while they are still breathing." Samuel nodded. "You buried me anyway." Thomas looked down at the two compasses in his hand. One cracked, one whole, both cold. For 15 years, Thomas had used pain like a fence. He had stood behind it and called it justice. But now the fence had a hole in it. Eli's voice was small. "Mr. Hale, he's getting colder." Thomas blinked. Samuel's lips were turning blue. The choice was no longer about the past. It was about the next breath. Thomas tied the rope under Samuel's arms. Samuel cried out, and Thomas flinched like the pain had entered his own body. "I hate that sound," Thomas said. Samuel forced a weak laugh. "Good. Means you still hear me." Thomas looked at him. "Hate is a heavy coat, Samuel. I wore it so long I thought it was my skin." Samuel's eyes filled. "Then take it off before it kills you too." Thomas looked at Eli. "Hold the lantern high. If you fall, I will drag you by your ears." Eli nodded fast. "Yes, sir." Together, they pulled Samuel onto a sled Thomas made from broken pine branches and rope. Every step home was a fight. The wind pushed them sideways. Ice cut Thomas's cheeks. Mercy nearly went down twice. Eli stumbled, but each time he lifted the lantern again. Once, Samuel groaned, "Leave me." Thomas did not look back. "I already did that once." Samuel went quiet. When the cabin lights finally appeared through the snow, Thomas almost did not believe it. The door stood open. Inside, the fire still lived. They dragged Samuel in. Eli fell to his knees near the stove, shaking. Thomas covered Samuel with blankets and pressed hot cloth around his frozen hands. The room filled with steam, smoke, and the sharp smell of boiled coffee. Samuel opened his eyes. Thomas sat beside him, holding both compasses. "I cannot make 15 years small," Thomas said. Samuel's voice was weak. "I am not asking you to. I don't know how to be your brother again." "Then start by not being my enemy." Thomas looked at Eli, asleep by the fire with his boots still on. That boy had walked into fear because guilt would not let him stay warm. Thomas understood that too well. Thomas placed the cracked compass on the table between him and Samuel. Then he placed the whole one beside it. "We will fix what we can," Thomas said, "and carry what we can't." Samuel closed his eyes, and one tear slipped down into his gray beard. Outside, the blizzard still beat against the cabin. The mountain was still cruel. The past was still there. But inside, two brothers sat on opposite sides of the same fire. Not healed, not finished, but breathing.